All right, well, today we have on Mr. Sam Terry. Sir, how are you?
Okay, you're an old man.
Well, I think I can speak for both me and Ethan. It's an honor to have you on today. We always start with the same question. Where did you grow up?
Where to grow up in this community.
Yes. And what year were you born?
What year? 1936.
1936. Were you born in the hospital or was it a home birth?
Born at home. Get that picture in there, honey. We show them where we was born.
Okay. A couple weeks ago, we interviewed Luke's grandmother, who was born. When was she born?
I think she was. I think it was. She was born in 1936 as well, or 36, yes, sir. Yeah. And 34. She was born in 1934, and it was a home birth. Were you born in this area?
Yes, down the road about 2 miles.
Yeah, so here in
She's
Walt.
getting the picture of the house.
Okay, yeah. Is that house still standing?
You might have to help her get it off of the wall.
I can't get it down. They'll have to look at it later. But,
Okay.
these are the parents, and all these 9 children were born in the house.
Wow.
And,
Let them see the picture and see if they can figure out which one I am.
Oh?
That's me right there.
Yeah. There we go.
I'm number 7.
Number 7. So what did your parents do for work?
Well, my dad was a carpenter and a sawmiller and a farmer. So we had plenty of work for us to do at home.
Yeah.
Yeah. And did your mom stay at home with the kids?
Part,
Did your mom stay at home with everyone?
yeah, yes, she never worked away from home.
Sure.
She worked at home a lot, but never worked away from home.
So what was it like growing up with so many older siblings?
Well, how do you answer that question? Yeah, all 9 of us was never home at the same time. I think my older brother was gone before the youngest one was born. We had, you seen that house, we had 3 bedrooms, one for Mother and Daddy, one for the girls, and one for the boys. We have 6 boys and 3 girls.
Yes.
And so, you've ever heard the little Jimmy Dickens song about sleeping at the foot of the bed? Well, it was almost like that. We had to sleep 3 to the bed sometimes. But, and we were poor, but we didn't know it. And we had a happy family. We all worked. Dad would leave for work and leave enough instructions for me to work for 2 days in one.
Yeah, wow. So did the kids go to school?
Yeah,
Where was that at?
everybody finished high school, and 3 of us finished college.
Okay.
What high school did you go to?
Well, I went to Hillsville,
Okay.
but I was the first one that went to Hillsville. My older siblings went to Meadows of Dan.
Okay.
Okay.
That school burned down, didn't it?
It burnt down and they rebuilt it.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Got a nice elementary school there now.
Yeah.
And that was, what, 10, 15 years ago?
Something like that.
Yeah. Wasn't too long ago.
So looking back at your early childhood, what's the earliest thing that you can recall, your earliest memory?
That's a hard question. I don't know. Don't know how to answer that, really.
Yeah.
What? Nothing really sticks out in my mind. This little kid around the house.
Yeah. I got you.
So you graduated from Hillsville High School. You said you went to college at Virginia Tech. When you were in high school, did you know that you wanted to go to college, or did that come later?
I guess I decided to go to college during my senior year.
Why did you?
Did you have any interest? Did you know what you wanted to do as a
I majored in
job.
agriculture economics.
Okay.
Yeah.
My dad had built this mill out here at the end of this road, Terry's Mill.
Terrysville. Okay.
And I had a notion I was going to come back and work at that mill, but that never did materialize. He sold it before I graduated.
Yeah.
So
So you said you went to Virginia Tech you were the class of what year?
58.
58. How big was the school then, class size?
Let's see. I guess my freshman class is probably 40-some hundred.
Wow. Okay.
It cost about $1,400 a quarter. It was on quarter system.
Okay.
Cost about $1,400 a quarter to go.
Yeah.
It's a lot different now.
Yeah. It's quite a bit different now. It's really boomed a lot too. Since I think my freshman class is almost 10,000 students.
Yeah.
So it's pretty large. Did you enjoy your time at Tech? Or?
I guess you'd have to say I did, yeah. I was in the Corps, and my orientation to Virginia Tech in Blacksburg was a first cousin drove me over there, set me out in front of Squire's Hall
Yeah.
with my suitcase and drove off. I'd never been even in Blacksburg, much less to Virginia Tech.
Yeah.
And so they put me down in the Army, the Air Force barracks.
Yeah.
And I couldn't adjust. I'd never been away from home.
Yeah.
And so I was going to quit and come home. And Dad and I went with me. We went over and we talked to Dr. Newman, who was the president of we didn't go to any low level. We talked to the president of the college. And he gave me permission to live in town, so I moved out of the barracks, and I was a town student. So.
And did you stay in the Corps throughout the duration of your time?
Yeah, I got a commission out of the Corps.
Okay. Okay. And
So you entered into the Air Force after graduating?
No, I switched to Army,
Okay.
so I had a commission in the Army.
And were you active duty or reserves?
It was a reserve commission, but 90% of my class got signed 8 years reserve duty,
Yeah.
and 10% got 2 years. It was right at the time when it was reducing force from Korea, and most everybody got short assignments. So they sent me to Fort Sill, Oklahoma, to artillery school. And I enjoyed all that mostly. But, I had met her during the summer before I went into service, and that was the hardest part of being gone from her.
how did y'all meet?
Huh?
How did you and your wife meet?
We all went to church one time with my daddy. He was a minister. Her daddy was a minister. And they were at the same church. But I didn't go into church. I was sit out in the car and talked to her sister. And she showed me a picture. And I liked the looks of that picture. And so I went by her house later on and met her.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Did you know that was true love?
Huh?
Did you know at that time that she was the one for you?
Well, I felt like it. Yeah.
Worked out.
65 years worth so far.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
So you said you met her, and then you went to Oklahoma. What did your Army service look like at that point?
Armed service.
What did your Army service look like from that point on?
Well, I just had 6 months of training, school.
Okay.
So when I finished up my artillery school, I had 6 weeks left, and so I requested to be sent to Fort Bragg, North Carolina, so that I'd be closer to home for the last 6 weeks. And so and then I joined, after I got out from there, I joined the reserve unit in Galax.
Okay.
Now, it was a medical ambulance company. Now, here I was, an artillery officer. But I got my branch changed to medical corps, and so I pulled my active reserve time in the 343rd Medical Company in Galax. And we were during the Berlin crisis. Y'all familiar with the Berlin crisis?
Yes,
when
sir.
the wall went up over there?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
They sent a unit out of Fort Meade, Maryland to Berlin, and we went up and replaced them. And so I had 10 months of active duty there. So I had a total of 16 months of active duty. And then got out. I didn't have a chance for promotion because there's not any. I was first lieutenant, and I didn't have any captains. That had one captain's slot in the company, and he just taken it, was not going to be vacated. And
Yeah.
so I just resigned my commission and got a discharge.
Yeah.
If given the opportunity, would you have kept going and stayed in?
I kind of thought about it a little bit, but no, I probably made the right decision.
So what did you do after you resigned your commission, or during the time in the reserves while you were here and not?
Well, right after I finished up at Fort Bragg, and there's a little bit of time that summer, I helped my dad at the sawmill for a few weeks, and he had to go to Hillsville to meet Ms. Cooley, the insurance agent. He had some business with her, and I went with him. And I didn't know she was the chairman of the school board. I didn't know that, but we got to talking. And so when we left up there, I had a job. She gave me a job while I was there. So
Were you teaching?
I taught at Hillsville High School, and I taught math and economics, and then later on went into agriculture education. And from there I went into the school board office as a director of vocational education. I spent 19 years at that.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Retired at age 55 with 32 years of service.
You mentioned earlier that you got your master's degree too from
Yeah.
Tech. What was that decision like to go back to school? And what did
Master's
you do?
degree was in vocational technical education.
Okay.
So
And did you travel to Blacksburg for that, or did
yeah,
you?
we drove for night classes mostly.
Yeah. Was that difficult?
I'd had some summer class.
Was that hard to do after work and
Well,
family life?
It's hard, and I had the farm here too. See,
Okay.
I bought the farm the year as soon as I graduated from college. This land came up for sale, and so I made arrangements to buy it. I didn't have any money. Just finished school, waiting to go into service.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the bank let me have the money, and I bought the land. And so we had a farm, had some cattle, and so I'd work day and night all the time for years.
That's a hard life. Sure.
I see a lot of pictures of different people on the walls here. Did you ever have any children?
We had two,
Two children.
boy and a girl.
What do they do now?
Hillsville,
Oh, what do they do?
what do they do? Ed, their son, just turned 62 this week, and he spent 30-some years as a insurance agent for Farm Bureau. And the daughter's currently working as a bookkeeper for what was Southern States, now Carroll County Co-op.
Okay. And did you have children at the time that you were getting your master's degree through Tech?
Yeah.
So you mentioned teaching at the high school.
Yeah, she taught a few years, but she had difficulty coping with the misbehavior of the kids.
Yeah. Did you have that issue when you were working at the high school?
No, I didn't, because I was a toughie. I'd be in jail now.
You had that military experience? Did that
Yeah.
rub off?
See, when I started teaching school, I just got out of the Army,
Yeah.
and I didn't put up with anything.
Yeah.
You have paddles that you used?
Oh, yeah, I paddle.
You drill holes in them?
If I wanted to, I'd get them with a nick and back them up against the locker and have a little talk with them.
Wow.
Different times.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't touch them now.
No.
I'm sure some of the teachers want to, but we've interviewed quite a bit of the staff at Carroll County High School, and they talk about sometimes that frustration. But I can definitely see that.
Current staff,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Ms. Rose, the home ec teacher, is about the only one I can think of that was teaching when I retired.
Yeah.
And she's ready she's going to retire.
Yeah, this year, next year, I think. So,
I'm in a Rotary Club, and so we eat at the high school, usually every first Thursday.
Yeah, and she does the food for y'all too.
Pardon?
Her class prepares the food for the meetings.
Yeah,
which
she
is
does a
pretty cool.
good job.
Yeah, she does. For sure.
Yeah.
So when did you join Rotary? When did you join Rotary?
When did I join Rotary? I don't know the exact year. About 1975, somewhere. I've been a Rotarian for 40-some years. I'm the oldest member of the club, and the second oldest in membership.
I got you.
And what inspired you to join the club?
Well, I was invited. See, they were looking for people in leadership positions to be members, and so I was
Vocational.
the director of vocational education, and I was invited to make a talk to them, and after that, they invited me to join them.
Yeah. Ethan's real big into Rotary and stuff. That's more his expertise.
You've been what?
I've been to some of the Rotary lunches with the Interact Club. And
Okay, the Interact is really active.
Yeah.
It's ought to be an interactive club.
Yes, it is. It is. Yeah, Miss Dalton is a great sponsor.
Yeah.
But yeah, Kerry Sims, who's a member of the
yeah,
club, he connected me with you and to Steve and some other members of the club.
And I just gave an overview of the vocational programs in the county at the time.
Yeah. I got you. So what time did you graduate? What year did you retire from the county?
Retire 1991.
1991. Wow.
Been retired longer than I worked.
And what have you done for that time since 91?
I've worked.
Yeah. Here on the farm?
Had the farm, of course. I didn't run the farm during that period of time. I had it rented to my nephew. But I did some construction work and some volunteer work, and we've done a lot of traveling. Since we retired, we've been in all 50 states.
Oh, wow.
And been in Mexico a couple of times, and Canada several times. Been in Great Britain once.
What's been your favorite thing that you've been able to go to? Your favorite place?
Favorite
place you visited
Since retiring?
since retiring?
I don't know. Make that ask Julie. We really enjoyed the Alaska trip.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Enjoyed the Hawaii trip. We've enjoyed them all. We hadn't had a bad trip.
Yeah.
And the European trip, the return flight liked to kill me. I tell you that, I was up 29 hours. And that was a killer.
Yeah.
Except
I've always wanted to go to Europe and see Britain. Hopefully someday I will. I'm really interested in it. But that's really
what's
neat.
your major?
Public admin.
Public?
Administration.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so I'm planning on getting my master's from Tech too. I'm applying for the master's program this summer.
So what year are you?
This is my first year at Tech, but I got my associate's degree in high school, so I'll graduate from Tech with my bachelor's next year, next spring.
So like your granddaughter Hannah undergraduate as a sophomore and finished up in three years.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm hopefully going to get in 2, but I'm going to try to get my master's while I'm there. So
Yeah, get it.
yeah, let's go right into that. So, because I've heard it's hard to go back. I know we were talking about that earlier, but when you have a family and a job,
you
and,
get established in your activities. It's hard to
Yeah.
find time.
yeah, so that's what I'm hoping on doing. Ethan's going. He's going up north to Harvard, so he's going to
You
be.
going where?
To Harvard.
Harvard. If they don't close it down.
Yeah, that's true. It's looking a little bit dicey, but yeah, I think it'll be okay.
Oliver McBride's son, one of his sons went to Harvard.
Yeah. What class was he?
Got a law degree. Huh?
So you mentioned grandkids earlier.
Yeah.
How many grandkids do you have, and
We
can you
got-
talk about having grandkids? How grandchildren are different than children?
We got 6 grandkids and 8 greats.
8 grades.
How many?
8.
That's what I thought. And Well, see, your grandkids, you can spoil them and give them back to the parents.
Yeah.
That's what you hear a lot.
We've enjoyed our families.
You said as a teacher you were really strict. Were you strict with your children as well?
Might ought to ask them.
What do you think?
Yeah, we were pretty strict,
Yeah.
but they were good kids.
Yeah.
We didn't have any trouble with them.
And do you treat your great-grandchildren differently than your grandchildren?
The great-grands haven't taken to us the way the grandchildren did.
Mm-hmm.
We babysat the grandchildren a lot, but these great-grands, because they have their grandparents to spoil them, they are not much interested in us.
Right. Sure. That makes sense. Yeah.
That's the way it goes. But
I've done a lot of shop work. You want to know what I did?
oh yeah,
Over the years, I've built over 200 utility trailers and sold them.
oh wow.
What does that
Yes.
entail? What do you? How did you learn carpentry? Did you learn from your father?
Well, I guess part of it's just inherited talent.
Sure.
Yeah.
But I learned welding when I was teaching agriculture.
Okay.
So I've done a lot of welding.
And Carroll County has a great
CTE program.
CTE program, vocational program. It's getting, especially the middle school, I think, is one of the highest rated programs in the state. So that's still something that's
Oh yeah,
very
yeah.
prevalent at Carroll. But like you said, I guess I don't have that natural talent. I think it does take some natural talent to have any really effect at it.
Well, think about my dad's sibling brothers. I'd have to count up four brothers. And every one of them were mechanically inclined.
Yeah.
Every one. And then look at my brothers. I had 5 brothers. Every one of them mechanically inclined.
Yeah.
And so it's something passed down, and then
I think
passed some on to Ed.
Yeah.
He can do anything he can do anything he wants to.
It's funny how that stuff, I think it really does get passed down through families. And I think that's interesting. You'll see that a lot. Do you still do any woodwork, or do you still work with wood? Or?
Well, since I've had these health issues, I've got heart problems.
Okay.
I've had 2 heart attacks. I've got a artificial valve, got a pacemaker, and atrial fibrillation. Other than that, I'm in pretty good shape. So I don't have the stamina to do any. I just don't do any work now,
Yeah.
hardly at all.
Yeah. That's understandable. As you look back at your life, what are you most proud of? And what do you wish, if you had the chance to go back and did it all over again, what would you change?
It wouldn't change much. I don't know. I guess my career path was pretty satisfactory,
Yeah.
and so I don't know what changes I'd make.
Yeah.
What were you most proud of in your career in education?
Well, we had an extremely good vocational program.
And it's still amazing today.
Yeah, and it's still carrying on some yet.
Yeah.
And the high school had been operating 2 years when I went over there. See, it opened in '69, and I went in February of '72, so it's 3 years.
Yeah.
And I replaced the fellow, so I was able to stick with it till I had an opportunity for early retirement, and I thought it was a good time to do something else.
I see a fiddle on the wall over there. Do you or your wife play?
Don't make any music.
No music.
I got music in some family members, but that fiddle, Mr. Harry Edmonds. I don't know if you ever heard of Harry. Have you ever heard of Jimmy Edmonds?
Don't believe
Jimmy's a good fiddler. But Harry Edmonds, did you ever hear of Jack Edmonds that taught at the high school?
It sounds familiar, but I'm not sure. I'm not.
He taught the disadvantaged mechanics program.
Okay.
Anyway, he and Harry are brothers, but Harry, his older brother, he's deceased now. Jack's deceased. He made fiddles.
Mm.
And so Jack said he wanted some walnut to make a fiddle. His brother did. I said, well, I got a piece of walnut. I told him what I had, and he said, well, I'll bring him down here and let him look at it. Well, the piece I had didn't suit him, but I had 2 walnut logs that he would cut off of the home place down here and taking them to the sawmill to get them cut. And he ran into nails, and he just quit and brought them back. I brought them back, and he was laying on at the shop. Told him about them. He wanted to look at me. I'd like to have those logs. I said, okay. I said, he got nails in them. So he asked me what he owed me. And I was just sort of joking with him. I said, "I'll just make me a fiddle." And so that's where that fiddle came from.
It's pretty. Yeah. I think that's always amazing how people can.
It's
do
not
that.
a good quality fiddle. Mr. Edmonds was just about blind when he finished that, and it's too thick.
Yeah.
I had a brother-in-law who's died now, but he is a good fiddle, and he said it's not quality to play.
Did he make the bow too, or just the...
No, I don't know what he got. He just handed the bow. He didn't.
It's still much better than I could
Yeah.
ever cook up, but yeah, that's neat.
So it makes a good conversation piece.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Look at there.
Have you ever tried to learn any instruments like guitar?
Now Ed can play. Plays the guitar and the mandolin.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't play anything.
Yeah. But as we wrap up, we always have a few questions we like to ask the people that we interview. Ethan, you go first.
Yeah. What advice would you give to someone who's considering a career in the military and a career in education?
Well, either field's good.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's tough in education now because you don't have discipline of the kids.
Yeah.
And unless you got discipline, you can't teach. I wouldn't. I don't think I'd enter education, teaching now, the present climate.
Yeah.
My wife taught, and she couldn't take it now. We both retired at the same time. We almost. She retired July the 1st, and I did October the 1st. I had another one. I waited to the last minute.
Yeah.
But Carroll County kids are good kids.
Yeah.
You know, teachers in this system don't have the problems they would have in the city schools.
Yeah.
You've got to...
I'm sure that's
Yeah.
true in a lot of sense.
I've talked to a lot of kids from different schools, and every time I do, I'm just amazed at how high quality our school system is, how well everything works, how good the teachers are, and how supportive administration is. We really have a gem of a school system.
I think part of that comes down to a lot of the teachers grew up here,
Yeah.
so they're from here, and I think that's how you get some good caring teachers. Because I had a lot of teachers that truly just cared, and that were really prevalent in the area, just not besides the school system. So I had a lot of contact with a lot of my teachers outside of school. I think that really helped with building that relationship with people. So I think Carroll County Public Schools is great in that sense. But
Yeah.
I agree. And my question is it's along the same vein as Ethan's, but it's a little bit different. What advice do you have to young people just making their way in the world? Not necessarily what they want to do, but just getting started in life.
What advice that I'd give them to getting started in life?
Just starting out.
Get a job and work it. And try to get something that you enjoy doing.
Yeah. Yes.
Then our final question, it's a bit odd, but we believe it's very important and telling. What is the meaning of life to you?
Meaning of life? I don't know. I enjoy life. I don't know how I define the meaning of life. It's a God-given experience, and how would you answer that, Julie?
Yeah, the same way. We've had such a good life that would be hard for us to say anything negative about the meaning of life. It's just been wonderful.
Well, thank you, Mr. Terry. We really
It's been an honor to
appreciate
speak with you today.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's been an honor to meet two outstanding young men.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. We appreciate that.